It was Betfred Oaks Day, Ladies' Day on the Downs, and the sun shone, and the ladies in their finery enjoying proceedings with anticipation for what was going to be a superb day's racing. The going was good to firm, and that is the card. The Coronation Cup, the 310, one of the two major highlights. The other, of course, the Betfred Oaks at 4:30. First up, 2-year-olds in the Woodcut Stakes over 6 furlongs. Hartem, the 9-4 favourite. Ballon d'Or, 4-1, and 9-2 the Camden Colt. That one well backed. Simon Holt, your commentator.
They're ready. And they're off, and Hartem has missed the break. The favourite has fallen out of the stalls and trails badly through the first furlong. Landlover going on. May is right up there as well. Showing speed is Ballon d'Or in the yellow jacket, 3 wide. Looking to get across to the running rail is James Doyle. Wider out 50 Grand Slater from Valor and Swagger, and Yorkshire Terrier is caught out very wide, rounding Tattenham Corner. Back in the field then to Myconian and Glanford on the inside with a white blaze. Hartem has managed to past 2, but a massive task from there. Bobsleigh is chased along. Red and Blue Sovereign towards the rear of the field as they run down inside the final 3 furlongs. Ballon d'Or leads the way, chased by Landlover in the noseband. 50 Grand Slater. Hartem is making good headway on the rail inside the final 2 furlongs in the green sleeves. Out wider, Bobsleigh tries to come on as well, heading down to the final furlong. Ballon d'Or, here's Bobsleigh with a run, then Landlover. Now Hartem struggling to get out. It's Ballon d'Or reeled in by Bobsleigh. Bobsleigh on the near side of Ballon d'Or as they race up towards the line in the Woodcut, and it's going to be Bobsleigh and Charlie Bishop. Bobsleigh win from Ballon d'Or second. Hartem a remarkable run in third, surely unlucky, followed by May, Landlover and Red and Blue Sovereign.
A win for the Eve Johnson Horton trained Bobsleigh, 5-1, beating Ballon d'Or 4-1, and Hartem, the 9-4 favourite, was back in third place in all 12 rounds. This was a furiously run contest. Those horses drawn out in the wide stalls gunned for the lead and ensured a really strong gallop. They dropped away, and the patiently ridden Bobsleigh came through to win this for Charles Bishop. And now Royal Ascot may well beckon for this colt. Ballon d'Or ran very well, up with that furious gallop throughout, and he stuck to his task to be only beaten 3/4 of a length.
The winning horse is a Goff's horse.
And Eve Johnson Horton is ecstatic after that win in the Woodcut from Bobsleigh.
Holding him actually is the best thing I ever did for him, and yeah, he's really done well.
Charlie Bishop is in scorching form. That's 3 wins from 3 rides and still going, and a really important one in the Woodcut with Bobsleigh. Now, Eve was just describing what she hoped and you hoped would happen in the race. Did it work out absolutely to plan?
Yeah, I think we agreed. I kind of think in general than the Windsor Castle would, so we'll see how he comes out of this. I imagine he'll sharpen up again for having a sort of a bit of a rougher race around here, so if he comes home and we think he's showing us that he's sharpened up and he's got more speed, the Windsor Castle might be a more sort of the easier option, but then if he improves and we think it's worth having a go at Coventry, we will.
So essentially you've got an open mind. Let's see what he tells you.
Yeah, he'll either sharpen up or he'll improve again a lot, and Eve's not normally too far wrong when she places them, so I'll leave that to her.
2:35 was the Racehorse Lotto handicap. It was over a mile and 113 yards. Fantastic Fox, been quite well backed all day, and he was favourite.
And they're off, racing uphill for the first furlong and a half or so, and getting away well. Dutch Decoy towards the near side with 2 tempting the grey Al Rayab, and Austrian Theory looking to go forward in the light green jacket. Out wide of these is Fantastic Fox in the blue and white striped sleeves, followed then by All the King's Men round the inside of Dutch Decoy. Midfield then to Revich and Orban. Ross Collin further back from Maysong. Hodler held up at the back of the field with in the red jacket Repertoire towards the inside. Beginning the run downhill towards Tattenham Corner. And Austrian Theory leading the way to Fantastic Fox in second. Al Rayab is third on the rail from 2 tempting in the blue cap. A couple of lengths then back to All the King's Men just to the inside of Dutch Decoy, Revic in light blue out wide of Orban, followed by Ross Collin, May Song Hodler and Repertoire. Beginning the swing left-handed now with just over 3.5 furlongs left to cover on straightening in. And it's Austrian Theory that leads the way. It by about a length to Fantastic Fox, the favourite in second. Al Raeb is third and then Too Tempting. Dutch Decoy towards the outside. In behind these locked away is All the King's Men. May Song exploring a daring route up the inside running rail from Revic and Orban. And then further back Ross Collin is driven hard from Repertoire. And down the wide outside is Hodler. Inside the two, it's Austrian Theory still clinging on to the advantage. Fantastic Fox and Dutch Decoy on the attack though. It's Austrian Theory from Dutch Decoy. The two Charlie Johnston trained runners fighting it out as they race on inside the final furlong. A number of fast finishers. All the King's Men is coming home well with Orban, but racing with the line. Austrian Theory just about makes it all. From Dutch Decoy, All the King's Men running on well. Orban down the outside, and then Fantastic Fox.
Austrian Theory at 7-1 beat Dutch Decoy, who was also 7-1, and All the King's Men third at 11-2, 12 round. So 1-2 for the Charlie Johnson team here, with Austrian Theory getting the better of stable companion Dutch Decoy. And he looked like he wanted it a little bit more than the runner-up in the closing stages. An honest head carriage. He kept finding for Joe Fanning against the rail, and one going away in the end. This was a very good ride from Fanning. He's very good from the front, and he got his fractions absolutely spot on here. An unpestered lead, and his horse just kept rolling.
Congratulations, that must have been quite a comfortable race to watch.
It was, although there's always that moment when there was the biggest or deepest field for the money on offer. So let's, I actually said to the exact words to Dr. Jim on Saturday were, because he's actually in the July sales, were, well, let's be aggressive now, campaign him hard, and see if he can prove his worth. And I think he might have just earned himself an exit out of the July sales.
Well, that's the first step, certainly.
I would work back from the Golden Mile with him. That looks sort of tailor-made for
over.
First Group 1 of the day was the Dalbury Coronation Cup over 1.5 miles. Westover, the well-backed 5-2 favourite.
And they're off. Racing over the 1.5 miles, the full Oaks and Derby course and distance for this Dalbury Coronation Cup, and Point Lonsdale is just the early leader from Westover, with Hurricane Lane in the blue jacket, Túnez towards the outside in red sleeves, and Emily Upjohn is dropped in as they race round the first right-hander, going uphill for the first 5 furlongs plus, and it's Point Lonsdale and Túnez disputing it now. With Hurricane Lane angling across towards the inside running rail in the hands of William Buick. Westover, who was perspiring freely down at the start, back in fourth, and then Emily Upjohn. So getting across now towards the inside of the course, with out wide Túnez of Point Lonsdale and Hurricane Lane on the running rail, followed by Westover and Emily Upjohn, and they are still climbing as they race on now towards the final mile or so. Hurricane Lane maybe just about leading the past Irish Derby and St Leger winner on the inside of Point Lonsdale. Túnez is third out wide of Westover, and then 2 lengths last to Emily Upjohn. Just gradually turning left-handed as they reach just about the highest point on the racecourse and beginning the tumble down towards Tattenham Corner. Point Lonsdale shadowing Hurricane Lane. 1.5 lengths back to Westover on the inside of Túnez, and still weighted with Frankie Dettori at the back on Emily Upjohn. Downhill now and racing towards the final 5 furlongs, and just inside the 5 and on the way down to Tattenham Corner. Hurricane Lane, the inside of Point Lonsdale. There's just nothing between the pair of them. They go stride for stride, waiting in the wings behind them. Túnez on the outside. Westover will just need an out at some stage there on the inside, and Emily Upjohn as now they stretch on down the home straight. Point Lonsdale serves up the challenge to Hurricane Lane. Here comes Westover in third place. Túnez looks a little bit flat-footed, and Emily Upjohn begins beginning a charge down the outside, a dangerous looking charge, and Emily Upjohn has quickened up superbly to lead inside the 2, and she's away from Westover. Then Point Lonsdale, Hurricane Lane and Túnez, and racing down towards the final furlong is Emily Upjohn, so unlucky in the Oaks 12 months ago, stumbled at the start, making absolutely no mistake this time in the Derby Coronation Cup. Another Group 1 for Frankie Dettori. Beats off Westover in second. A long gap back to Point Lonsdale in third, Túnez and Hurricane Lane.
What a performance from Emily Upjohn, who wins at 11-4 for John and Thady Gosden and Frankie Dettori. Westover the favourite in second place and 5 round. Well, Emily Upjohn has destroyed them for speed here. She's loomed up towards the outside of the field, having been given a patient ride by Frankie Dettori. And then from the 3 to the 1, she quickened up impressively. Sectionals under 11 seconds for both of those furlongs. That was way too much for Westover, who's a strong stayer rather than a quickener, and Point Lonsdale back in third place. Hurricane Lane didn't seem to handle the fast conditions. Emily Upjohn, brilliant.
It's another group winner from Tattersalls.
Frankie Dettori has just won the Derby Coronation Cup on Emily Upjohn. Redemption for what happened in the course of distance last year in the Oaks.
I must say, when I was in the stores, I was thinking, please don't sleep today. I had a little feeling inside me, I remember it last year, but everything went wrong in the King George. She was too free, didn't breathe. The key with her is to get her to switch off. We kept the hood on her. After a long discussion, we thought, let's keep it on. She relaxed beautifully, and she's a big girl, so I got her ready at the top of the hill. My God, did she quicken. Wow, she was impressive.
That was the most impressive, it wasn't the change of pace.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, she kept it right to the line, and myself and Rod, we pulled well clear of the third, so I thought it was a great performance.
Does she feel a better filly than last year?
She does feel better, she's stronger, but it's all in her mind, you know. She was fighting herself too much last year, and she's learning to relax a bit more, and when she does that, she's very good.
There was a couple of times when she paused on the walkway and she paused just before you galloped to post. Is that just her? Is that typical of her now?
She does that in the mornings as well.
Okay.
So let her be, you know, we don't interfere with her. If she wants to stop and have a look, let her have a look.
And how are you feeling about Soul Sister now?
Good, yeah. Listen, this was an encouraging tonic, and roll on the Oaks.
Very much so. Well done. Emily Upjohn has just become the first filly to win the Coronation Cup since In the Groove in 1991. A few have tried as well. Her proud trainer is John Gosden, alongside his son Thady, of course. Congratulations, that must have been very satisfying, and you must be thrilled by the burst of speed that she showed.
Yeah, she's always had that, and actually she hasn't shown it this spring. And that's probably why Frankie moved quite so early. And then in the end he said, I got there too soon. And she's looking around, and in fairness, she's getting a little tired at the end. She wasn't absolutely fully 100% because she's had a difficult spring, you know, with the weather being so cold and miserable and wet.
And run me through that, because you had hoped to go to the Shima Classic with her, hadn't you?
Yeah, we actually did a couple of pieces of work with her, and she just wasn't there. And we knew we were doing the wrong thing, trying to run her in the end of March. So we backed right off, freshened her up, and brought her back again. And she's rewarded our common sense and patience.
And when you backed off, was this the obvious race then to target her for?
Yeah, we were thinking about 1.25 miles, but we'd very much like to go 1.5 miles. We could well go back to 1.25 miles in a race like the Eclipse. I think that would suit her. There is the Hardwick at Royal Ascot, not too far away, but I think more likely the Eclipse.
And is it the sort of long straight that you're thinking of that will suit her well?
She likes a long straight, and she likes meeting she won her maiden there by many lengths. She likes meeting the ground. Sandown is a very good track for her.
And from your perspective, how has she changed from 3 to 4?
Well, she's always had a big frame, but she's furnished a little bit and not a lot. To that extent, she's the same filly, but just slightly on a year. She was pretty good at 3, you know, and it went all wrong in the King George. It went wrong for Westover. Take nothing from the winner. He watched all these people going at each other's throats, sat out the back, pile driver, and knocked us all for 6, so full marks to them. But it was a strange race, and she came back in the autumn and showed her class again.
And this, of course, it means that memories of the Oaks, when so many things went wrong as well, can be put behind her.
Yeah, you know, Epsom's not easy. You know, she got left that day and got forced very wide and beaten her nose, and that's life. But it's nice to come back. You know, Westover didn't have a perfect trip, but I take nothing from the winners of the Oaks and the Derby last year. They were both exceptionally brilliant Colton fillies. So that's racing.
3:45 was the Betfred handicap. It was over 10 furlongs. Majestic, the 100 to 30 favourite ahead of Mahaba the champ, who was 4 to 1.
They're ready and away for this Betfred handicap, 1.25 miles. Dual Identity a little slow perhaps towards the inside. Majestic going forward in the early stages, so too the City's Phantom. Hunterton up on the outside there, tracked by Savvy Victory as they race through the first furlong going up the hill. And it's the City's Phantom getting across to lead from Hunterton in second in the all blue. Majestic in the hoops is third. Savvy Victory a little wider out under Ryan Moore, none wider than Law Protector. Then Bad Company towards the inside. Also towards the inside is Dual Identity, a little wider in the dark blue sleeves Masakela. Mahaba the champ is further back from Cadillac, and Toshizu is the back marker. Reaching the high point on the course, and it's the City's Phantom that leads. 1.5 lengths to Hunterton in second, with Majestic third on the inside. Beginning the run downhill now. Savvy Victory behind these, followed by out wide Law Protector. And then behind these is Masakela. On the inside still Bad Company, just ahead of Dual Identity. 2 lengths or so to Mahaba the champ, Cadillac and Toshizu. Descending now inside the final 4.5 furlongs and approaching Tattenham Corner. And it's the City's Phantom just getting a little bit of momentum going down the hill there. Goes 2 lengths clear of Hunterton in second. Then Majestic in third. Bad Company on the inside from Savvy Victory. Now the pace has lifted and 1 or 2 of them on the stretch. Dual Identity is behind these. They're followed back in the field then by Law Protector. Cadillac getting out in green sleeves. Further back Masakela, and then Toshizu and Mahaba the champ running down the home run then. And it's the City's Phantom that continues to lead from Majestic in second place. Dual Identity running on in third. Out wide from the back of the field, Cadillac with a very long run down the outside as they head to the final furlong. The City's Phantom is now claimed by Cadillac, and Cadillac comes sweeping through to lead with Majestic close up and Dual Identity and racing up towards the line. Cadillac winning easily in cruise control. Cadillac, ears pricked, wins by about 1.5 lengths. Tight second, Majestic on the near side of the City's Phantom. Toshizu ran on well for fourth, and then Dual Identity.
Cadillac 12 to 1 beats Majestic, the 100 to 30 favourite. And the City's Phantom at a big price, 50 to 1, was in third place, 11 round. This is a pretty good performance. He was formerly a very smart horse, Cadillac, and he's bolted up here in a race that wasn't that strongly run, and the second and third were always up there. He's come from the back. He was plumb last coming down the hill to Tattenham Corner, but he's quickened up in good style. He's won going away by 1.25 lengths, and another nice winner for the very much informed George Bowie.
The winning horse.
Him for luck, and you know he wasn't drawn perfectly, and but look, fast ground's key to him. I didn't want to run him on Guineas weekend, but he was there, and we thought back into a handicap for the first time. I thought he'd run well. It was good. It was quite satisfying, that.
Riding for luck and first-time cheek pieces, does that tell a tale about the kind of horse that he is?
No, I don't think so. Look, he's a horse who, when he came to me, he used to wear blinkers, and he's a very honest horse. But I think left-handed is quite key to him. Sam Haggis would be a big advocate for that, who obviously I work very closely with, and at the furlong mark I got a text from him going left-handed exclamation mark. So no, well done to Sam. But
nobody likes a smart ass.
No, look, it's a huge thrill, and delighted for Sheikh Abdullah, and you know he's a big supporter of the yard, and he was a horse who was beautifully prepared. He came from Jesse's and then to Kevin, and we're just lucky to be the recipient of him now, and no, he's a fun horse. The Wolferton's always been the plan for him at Royal Ascot, and that's right-handed.
Bright Diamond.
The Betfred Oaks was next, and drama at the start in stall 2 as a running line lashed out and came out of the stalls backwards and then got loose for a while. Oisin Murphy absolutely gutted that she wasn't able to take part, and Save the Last Dance was the odds-on favourite ahead of Soul Sister, 11 to 4.
And they're off, and they've gone without Running Lion. They set off in the Group 1. Betfred Oaks starting uphill. Heartache Tonight was quite sharply away. Saved the Last Dance too, with Sea of Roses on the inside. The yellow-jacketed Bright Diamond. Soul Sister is wider out. And then back to Eternal Hope and Red Riding Hood and Mammon June towards the inside of Carnarvon as they swing round a right-hander into a little bit of shade and making their way up the hill. And it's Sea of Roses who leads the way to Heartache Tonight. Then Red Riding Hood improving up on the outside, followed by Stable Companion Save the Last Dance. Ryan Moore just glancing down to his left. Then Eternal Hope. Bright Diamond round the inside. Soul Sister further back. Mammon June. And then at the back is Carnarvon as they continue to climb. And a shock at the start. Running Lion hasn't taken part in the race as they run uphill still, and it's Sea of Roses that leads the way. Heartache Tonight, out wide Red Riding Hood, Bright Diamonds on the inside of Save the Last Dance, then Mammon June, Eternal Hope, Carnarvon and Soul Sister and Frankie Dettori just about the back markers now, about 8 lengths behind the leaders. Turning left-handed and beginning the run down towards Tattenham Corner. Sea of Roses leads the way to Heartache Tonight. Caught 3 wide is Red Riding Hood. Bright Diamond is back on the inside from Save the Last Dance. Then Mammon June, Eternal Hope, Carnarvon and Soul Sister still looking on as they race down inside the final 5 furlongs and heading towards this all-important left-hand turn. Sea of Roses and Heartache Tonight. Red Riding Hood is caught out rather wide. Then behind these Bright Diamonds, Save the Last Dance is just hunting the lead, just being nudged into the bridle by Ryan Moore. Then Mammon June, followed back in the field by Eternal Hope, Carnarvon and Soul Sister, now making rapid progress down the outside. Soul Sister as they run down the home straight. Sea of Roses, Heartache Tonight, Bright Diamond, Save the Last Dance under pressure. Then Carnarvon, but look to the left. Here comes Soul Sister behind these Mammon June, and then behind those Eternal Hope and Red Riding Hood, and Soul Sister comes to challenge Carnarvon, and then on the inside Save the Last Dance, who's staying on well, racing down towards the final furlong. It's Soul Sister that takes over now from Carnarvon and Save the Last Dance, the Musidora winner. She's kicking away. Is Soul Sister in the hands of Frankie Dettori. Another farewell classic win for Frankie. Why is he giving up? He wins on Soul Sister. Tight for second, Save the Last Dance. Carnarvon ran a blinding race. They were well clear then of Mammon June, Bright Diamond, Heartache Tonight, Sea of Roses, Eternal Hope and Red Riding Hood.
Another brilliant winner for Team Gosden and Frankie as Soul Sister takes the Betfred Oaks at 11-4. Save the Last Dance, the odds on favourite second, and Carnarvon at 40-1 was in third place. There's a 15 pence in the pound rule 4 because of Running Lion's withdrawal. This is a silky smooth performance from Soul Sister, who was brilliant when she won the Musidora. She was very impressive there in a steadily run race, and she overcame a pace and positional disadvantage. Here, held up by Frankie, she swooped through down the outside, rather like Emily Upjohn, and quickened up in good style. And then, even though Save the Last Dance was rallying in the closing stages, Soul Sisters won quite cosily.
That was a superb performance.
Yes, it was, because she had a funny old draw, and Frankie saw early on he was going to be stacked 3-4 wide, so he dropped her back virtually to last, so she had to have the class to come down the outside and pass the whole field, which she did.
What were you thinking as you were seeing those tactics being executed?
No, I was really happy when he decided to drop her in and save ground. You can't go 3-4 wide round here and expect to win unless you're sort of 25 lengths the best. And no, it was a great plan B from his viewpoint. And then in the straight, my only feeling was she's coming there nicely, but I have no idea if she'd stay. The family have not got a mile and a half. Her full brother was a mile in France, 1.1 miles maybe, but never beyond. So I was naturally concerned she wouldn't stay. She showed a lot of speed in the Musidora, but she's come and done it extremely well and showed a great attitude.
She showed herself to be very, very versatile. I mean, I know it all went wrong in the Fred Darling, but you were starting out over 7 furlongs with her.
Yeah, she hated the ground, and so Frankie actually he gave her a piece of work, which was very nice of him. She appreciated it. It's the right thing if it was heavy. It wasn't soft, it was bottomless. And she trained well and came up to Musidora very well, and you know, the stud have been fantastic, and Lady Bamford, I said, I want to run her there. Are you sure? And I said, yes, please, can I? And we did, and the rest is now history.
And what do you see her as now? I mean, going into this, you've had your questions answered about her stamina, so she's clearly a very versatile filly. What do you see for the rest of her campaign?
I think anything from a mile and a quarter to a mile and a half, you'd be fine for her. You obviously have obvious races, the Irish Oaks, but, you know, I wouldn't be frightened of any mile and a quarter race for her either, because she's got the gears. And
you've got Emily Upjohn in the same stable as well. Quite a day to have the two of them winning so well.
Yeah, a huge day, and look, fabulous owners. And yeah, let's face it, Emily Upjohn is probably a mile and a half, but I think she could come back to an Eclipse.
Yes, you mentioned the Eclipse for Emily earlier, so the Irish Oaks will be the next step, but then you wouldn't be afraid of dropping down in Tripitol system?
No, I wouldn't be. So we'll just see how she is after the race, but she looked pretty cool in here.
And how about Running Lion? Have you had a report from Thady about how she is?
She kicked out. Thady's there. She's back now at the stable. She kicked out and caught her leg on the gate, scraped it, and they didn't want to run her, and they had to open the back gate, let her out, and then she got loose. And you saw Ocean was upset. So on the ground, look, she's never done anything wrong in the gate. She's been like a pussycat. I think she's probably getting ready to go and just caught her leg. So they withdrawn her. She's absolutely fine. We'll get her right at home and go to the Prix d'Ian in 16 days.
And from your perspective, I mean, for Thady, it's a superb Oaks success, but for you, it's your fourth, isn't it? The fourth Oaks win?
It is, and look, you've had bad luck on them too, you know. A few got knocked over, and, you know, it happens, but it's lovely to win such a fabulous race, and look, great to Fred to sponsor. I think it was a big move by him. He's a brilliant man.
Well, Frankie Dettori's farewell tour, the farewell year, continues to be written by a Hollywood scriptwriter. This is ridiculous, Frankie. It just keeps happening.
It is mental, I'll be honest with you. I thought, well, 3 Group 1s, 3 good rides. To have 2 in the bag already with a derby to go is crazy. I mean, I'm stuck for words, I'm sorry. Stuck for words.
Talk me through the race, because you had to make a decision with her draw.
She jumped good, and then I was looking for somebody's wheel to follow. I didn't want to stuck wide. I wanted to get behind Ryan, but William already had that position. So then I thought, well, O'Sheen is out of the way. I thought the one to beat now is Ryan and William. So I parked myself behind William to try to get her to relax. The pace was honest. And then we come nearly out of Tottenham Court, and William just died in front of me. So she's got very little experience, so I thought, you know, even if I go a little bit wide, but at least I'll have a clean air to the straight. And then I had to avoid the other pacemaker, so I went even more wide. And then Connor came up sides me, and I didn't ask for my filly's ultimate effort. And I thought, well, just buy your time and wait till just before the furlong mark, and I did. And then you're just on the lap of the gods. She either goes or not, and she did. And that was a great relief. And I was able to enjoy all the screaming of the crowd. I went, can you believe it won another Oaks?
Could you actually enjoy that final?
Yeah, I loved it, yeah. Yeah, I knew I won. And usually it's custom, when you win the Oaks, they give you an oak tree. The last one I got for an opponent, I think, or no, Snowfall.
Yeah.
My dog decided to play with it, so she ripped around the garden, so I could do with a new tree, and now hopefully I'll get another one.
Well, I think you'll probably definitely get that tree. But how special to be able to actually enjoy the end of the Oaks like that. That must be brilliant in your final year.
Yeah, because honestly, you know, I was in the back of the field, and when I passed them all, I knew that it was, you know, there was nobody behind me. So I was able to, once I got rid of Connor, then I thought, well, nobody's going to come now. And yeah, I was able to, you know, you don't get many opportunities. Maybe with Snowfall, and I was 20 lengths clear. But it was great because all the owners are here. The Oppenheimers, the Bamford, John Slatt, of Emily John, and all the gang and the breeders, the managers, everybody's here. So to go home and say I've done 100% jobs, great.
And the way that you've talked me through that race, it just talks about all of your experience, isn't it? You know, that is what you drew upon to make those decisions, those crucial decisions. Yeah, absolutely. Look, you know, I would have loved to be fourth behind Ryan, but it didn't happen. So I have to, you know, I have to ride my horse to suit the style of racing. And I thought, you know, she's not experienced enough to go through them. You know, don't be stupid. Just keep it simple, get it organised, and go and win your race. And that's what I did. I still there's another half year to go, but you're going to miss this, aren't you? Well, at the moment things are going well.
But you can easily mess up in this game, you know. 5 months is a long time. Look, at the moment I'm enjoying it, Lydia. Thank you.
And a rest tomorrow?
And obviously, look, I wished it was more rain around, but he's a good horse. He deserves a good chance, and the way Johnson, Thaddeus horses are running, anything is possible.
Absolutely, and thinking about Emily Upjohn, I'm a great ander, and thinking about Emily Upjohn and Soul Sister, how would you compare the two?
Well, Soul Sister, she's nowhere near what she's going to be. She's still weak, unfurnished, but she's got lots of talent. So, you know, I probably suspect that she stay with the Friedels, maybe go to Ireland, something like that.
John was suggesting she might be the quicker of the two.
Well, not the way Emily went today.
Well, he was saying Emily 1.5 horse, Soul Sister maybe, and you could go to the Eclipse with her, but she was thinking that Soul Sister might be a bit more versatile. What's your perspective?
Yeah, look, she's very light-framed and she can only improve. She just showed she's very talented, that's all.
Okay. Well, I'll see you here tomorrow then after the Derby, Frankie. Congratulations. Jack Shannon has just in Carnarvon finished third in the Betfred Oaks. How does that sound? I bet you thought at one point she was going to win.
My wildest dreams.
So something like the NASA maybe on your mind?
Potentially, you know, all those nice mile and a quarter races, and I know Stephen's a sportsman. You never know, he might keep her at 4 as well. So we'll see. Look, you know, let's let her come out this race, let the dust settle, and we'll make a plan from there.
Many congratulations for exciting times ahead. Well done.
Thank you very much, Lydia. Thank you.
Aidan O'Brien has just seen Save the Last Dance, finished a doughty second in the Betfred Oaks. What was the report from Ryan once he got off?
No, she ran very well, Lydia. She was flat out all the way. Obviously, totally different ground than she ran on before. And obviously, when they handle soft ground as well as she does, you often have to think about going on the other ground. But listen, she ran a great race. She got beat by a very classy filly. What can I say? Ryan said she wasn't finished with going to the line. She was still going there. So we were delighted with her run, really.
And so is your inclination then maybe to target her at an autumn campaign? Are you going to be ground dependent with her?
I don't think so, because we'll see how she comes out of this, but she went on it. But obviously she handled soft ground better than most, but it was still a very good run from her.
So maybe a flatter track, this kind of ground would be absolutely fine.
Listen, it could be, Lydia, you know, but she still ran a very good race today, you know, so listen, we can take her home and see, like, nothing is in or out for her, but listen, like I said, ran a very good race, and furlong down she's only going to be third, and she'll be staying on to be second again, and still staying on going to the line.
She's definitely tough. How about your reflections on Point Lonsdale and the Coronation Cup?
Yeah, everything went grand. Ryan was a little bit surprised that himself and William went together, and then he just said when William dropped away, Point Lonsdale got a little bit lonely, and he said the other two challenged away from him, so it's probably a thing of waiting, riding him a bit more patiently in a race where there's pace on up front, or put cheek pieces or blinkers on him. But he's very straightforward, genuine horse, but we saw him he's always been lazy, and he just said when William dropped away he got left there and he kind of waited a little bit, and then, like I said, the other two got a run on him, but he ran a very good race.
Where might we see him next?
I'm not sure. Like, obviously he can go to the Hardwick or some races like that. We can change tactics, we can do different things with him. He seemed to be in good form after, but I think all those races are open to him.
I'm sure you'll find a way. Congratulations with her as well. Well done with the filly.
Thanks, Lydia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And next up was the listed Surrey Stakes, 7 furlongs the trip. The favourite, Holguin, at 7-4 ahead of Olivia Meralda, who was 3-1.
And they're away. Good level break. Magical Sunset a little slow with Tenjin. Both those towards the outside as they race down the hill in the early stages, and Secret Angel on the inside. Going forward is Holguin too. Dandy Alice is very keen as they make the run towards Tatnam Corner. Further back, He's a Monster on the outside of Elvina, and then Streets of Gold, followed by Olivia Meralda, and at the back, Magical Sunset. And also towards the rear of the field is Tenjin. So running into Tatnam Corner, Dandy Alice, who's been freewheeling down the hill, leads the way in this Night Timber Surrey Stakes. Secret Angel on the inside of the favourite Holguin. Holguin just second. They're 3 lengths away from Elvina. They are chased then by Olivia Meralda and Streets of Gold and Magical Sunset. And then right out the back is Tenjin. He's a Monster, pulled towards the outside by Holly Doyle in the blue with the white sleeves. Down the home run, Holguin looming up on the outside of Dandy Alice. Right there, Secret Angel. And here comes Olivia Meralda now, bursting through down the outside. Holguin just leads to Olivia Meralda, and then Secret Angel as they run down to the final furlong. And Olivia Meralda coming home strongly in the hands of Kevin Stott. A double for him on the card, 2 lengths clear of Holguin, and racing up towards the line, Olivia Meralda, too good in the Night Timber Surrey Stakes. Holguin second, Streets of Gold in third, Magical Sunset running on in fourth, and they were clear of Secret Angel.
Olivia Meralda 3-1 beats Holguin the favourite, and Streets of Gold was third at 7-2 and 9 ran. Nice performance this from Olivia Meralda, trained by Roger Variant. Kevin Stott, the man on board, completing a double on the day, and she sweeps down the outside of the track and wins going away from Holguin. It's a decisive success. She won by 2.5 lengths. This was a drop in grade for her, a drop in trip, and a return to faster ground. Those three things combined have propelled her to the winner's enclosure, and there might now be more to come.
Olivia Meralda has just won the Surrey Stakes listed, and her proud trainer is Roger Varian. Just talking to Amma Racing's Keir Jurabchan and arranging where they're going to meet to watch the race back. Receiving congratulations from the team, and I'm not surprised. It was a good performance.
Yeah, she was good today, wasn't she? I mean, she actually ran very well in the Guineas. Ran well for a long way, and probably found a mile on soft ground on Guineas Sunday a bit tough, but I thought she ran well on that day, and we were hopeful coming here back to 7 furlongs on fast ground, but she'd run very well.
And which do you think is the most important? Because I'm thinking about the Coronation Stakes entry that you've got, the dropping back in trip or the better ground.
I would say definitely the better ground. She could be versatile in terms of trip because she relaxes very well. She's got a very good turn of foot. You'd have to say how she's how good she looked today, but 7 maybe is her best trip, but I think she could be versatile because she relaxes so well.
And so you wouldn't discount maybe a mile around a bend, something that wasn't sort of putting so much accent on stamina. Would the Coronation come too soon?
Well, I don't think it would come too soon. I mean, we might consider going to Ascot. I think probably at this stage the Jersey might be
right, okay.
might be her race.
Sorry.
Receiving her allowance from the Colts, and you'd think that stiff 7 furlongs could really suit her. But the way she ran in the Guineas and the way she's ran out today, I don't think she'll be out of place in a Coronation, but the Jersey might be a slightly better fit.
Okay, and there's a better 7 furlong programme these days, isn't there, throughout the whole of Europe from the start to the finish of the year, if that does turn out to be her optimum?
Yes, yeah, no, you're dead right, and I think her name escapes me, but William Haggis is very good filly for Cheveley Park at the moment. Sacred is really doing well in that 7 furlong division.
And Secret Strength heading and sprawl back behind these Marley with Lord Rapscallion and Wyvern.
Dead right, and I think her name escapes me, but William Haggis is very good filly for Cheveley Park at the moment. Sacred is really doing well in that 7 furlong division, isn't she? And you know, who knows where we'll go with this filly, but I thought she won very well today, and for the season ahead, she's exciting.
And the 5:45, the final race on EPSOM's card, was a handicap over 7 furlongs, and Urban Sprawl, the 5-4 favourite.
Urban Sprawl, the favourite, the last one to go in. Will he be the first out here for this Winners Wear Cavani handicap? And they're away. And Urban Sprawl did jump out pretty boldly, pocket the profit towards the inside. Darkness is going forward with Lord Rapscallion and Wyvern on the outside. And it's Darkness just crossing Urban Sprawl there. Lord Rapscallion wider with clear sailing. And it's Lord Rapscallion from Darkness and Wyvern. Then on a session, Urban Sprawl back behind these. Marley Park on the inside and the yellow sleeves. Castle City is wider. Pocket the profit then from Raya to Blue Light Bay. And then towards the rear of the field, On a Session, or rather Spanish Star, and Secret Strength, heading towards the home straight now. And it's Lord Rapscallion at a rattling pace here, 2 or 3 lengths clear of Darkness in second, Wyvern in third, On a Session driven along in fourth from Marley Park, and they're followed back in the field by Pocket the Prophet, and then Spanish Star, and then towards the outside, Castle City, Urban Sprawl at the back on the outside. Down the home run, Lord Rapscallion is reeled in now by Darkness, and it's Darkness that took over over from Lord Rapscallion. Marley Park behind these. Spanish Star stays on, then Wyvern, and running down towards the final furlong, it's Darkness and Hollydore with a useful lead here. Marley Park is closing in second place. Spanish Star likewise on the running rail. Darkness challenged by Spanish Star, who's sneaking up the rail and going to get there. Spanish Star and Reese Clutterbuck, they grab the spoils in the last few strides. From Darkness run down. Marley Park close up with Secret Strength Riot and Blue Light Bay.
A dramatic finish. Spanish Star getting up in the dying strides to win at 12-1. From Darkness 20-1. Marley Park third at 8-1. This horse has been a real star for the Patrick Chammings yard. Was well handled here by Reese Clutterbuck. The pace was pretty honest out in front. It's set up for something to just close from off it. And this horse from mid-division gets a rare run up the inside. You don't often get that at Epsom with horses rolling back down the camber towards the rail. But he got through all right. Reese, and his horse responded to maximum pressure. Marley Park's run quite well towards the outside in the yellow sleeves for the local trainer Jim Boyle, but Spanish Star wins.
Reese Clutterbuck has won the final race here on the first day of the Derby Festival on Spanish Star. Congratulations, Reese. Really good ride. Tell me about the way that you weaved through on the inside of Holly Doyle there.
Yeah, look, he's a funny horse, really. You have to deliver him late, and looking up when I saw Holly kicked early, I thought she'd got away from us, but the horse, credits to him, he's dug in deep and he's hit the line strong, you know.
He's a fantastic horse. He was in good form the last twice as well, wasn't he?
He did. Look, he ran a massive race at Windsor last time out. Look, he's not a quick ground horse. He's won most of his races on soft ground, and to go and especially run like he did at Windsor, I thought we had a nice enough chance coming into this race.
So how do you explain this then? Because this is quick.
Oh, it's very quick like that. I think he just loves racing. He tries so hard and he gives you everything.
And this must be quite a meaningful success for you on such an important day's racing.
Yeah, it is. Look, it's just nice to get the recognition, especially getting the ride from Mr. Chammings. It's nice, but especially on Oaks Days, it's even better. So
absolutely. Well, I'll let you go and get your trophy. You're about to be called up. Congratulations, Reese. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So these are the winners at Epsom on Betfred Oaks Day. Bobsleigh took the first, the Woodcut for Eve Johnson-Horton. Austrian Theory, a nice ride by Jay Fanning from the front to win the 235 for the Johnson team. Emily Upjohn was blistering in taking the Coronation at 3:10. Cadillac from last to first at 12-1 in the 345. Soul Sister, a brilliant winner of the Betfred Oaks, giving John and Thady Gosden and Frankie Dettori a double after Emily Upjohn's success. Olivia Miralda down in grade, that worked the trick in the 5:10, and Spanish Star got up late in the last. And the times were very much on the quick side, suggesting the ground was definitely good to firm, but it looked like horses were letting themselves down, and a couple of races dipped under standard. Emily Upjohn going 1.